Nagaland's global footprint, cultural diplomacy and international engagement. This initiative has been thoughtfully conceptualized and brought to life by our Honorable, none other than our Honorable Chief Minister, along with the active support of a host of his team, host of legislators, advisors, officials, intellectuals, and professionals. As we are all aware, a high-level delegation just recently from Nagaland, led by our Honorable Chief Minister, visited Japan and Russia. That is the Russian Federation in the month of July. These visits focused on deepening bilateral relationships, attracting investment, promoting tourism, enhancing cultural exchanges, and strengthening human resource development, all of which perhaps yielded significant and meaningful takeaways.
Nagaland Tourism Department participated in the Bharat Utsav Festival 2025 held at Manevnaya Square, Moscow on 12 and 13 July 2025 as part of India's Cultural Diplomacy Initiative. The Department of Tourism promoted Nagaland under the Incredible India campaign. Activities included multimedia presentations, literature distribution, and interactive sessions to attract Russian investors and visitors. We have highlighted immense prospect of Nagaland tourism resources to the tourists visiting the Nagaland tourism booth. The booth consistently attracted high footfall due to its vibrant aesthetic and interactive elements. We have also drawn attention to Nagaland for its tribal culture celebrating 10 days festival, Hornbill Festival from 1st to 10 December every year. One of the key remarks to the tourists is that the state government is desirous of promoting tourism, embarked on a mission to showcase the rich diversity and cultural heritage of the Nagas.
And it is my greatest honor to stand before you to share about my experience at Bharat Utsav, which was recently held at Moscow, Russia. Growing up in a small town in Nagaland, I never imagined I would one day get to travel and cross continents to represent my home, my people, and our culture at the global stage. Standing in the heart of Moscow, wearing our traditional attire, sharing the stories music, and the identity of Nagaland. It was a moment of pure pride and emotion for me. It wasn't just about performing or being seen. It was about being heard and showcasing who we are as people. Resilient, rooted, and rich in culture. And I say this not just for myself, but on behalf of all the other delegates who were there with me. We are deeply grateful to the government of Nagaland for entrusting us with this responsibility. Thank you for believing in young voices like mine and for opening the doors for us to believe and dream beyond borders. This experience not only inspired us, but also reminded us on the importance of preserving and sharing our culture. And I look forward to more of such opportunities in the future to represent Nagaland, my pride, again and again. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, the certificate that we are going to distribute now is the certificates given to the participants of the Bharat Utsav, where our artists seated there performed from the 3rd to the 15th of July. So for this, may I request the Honorable Chief Minister to kindly come and do the honors of giving away the certificates. We have Menguse, followed by Imli Senla. Imli Senla. Next, Zisale, be ready. Next will be Kewasha, be ready. Next will be Revole, be ready. Next, Krolo. Next, Akrile. Next, Puchong. Next, Tenjong. Next, Rikyung. Next, Tosovi. Next, Pangmai. Next, Itongbemo. Next, Akihito. Next, Aren Chandla. Next, Ithel. Next, Bumung. Next, Sangbolong. Next, Muang Temsa. And last, Masibole. Thank you very much. You may please stop for a photograph, please.
This album is a work of 6 artists across 3 continents, 6 cities over the last 6 months. It all started in a way with a conversation at the Hornbill Festival, like many other stories of Nagaland, which starts from Hornbill Festival. But today it's ready. We're very proud of it. And it is the first time that someone has thought of getting Carnatic ragas and Naga music from the chants of different tribes together. It's an amalgamation of that. The artists who have been part of this journey, Mr. R.N. Wong from Nagaland, he's over here only. Sandeep Chota, who's the producer, he's a Bollywood composer, 2 times Filmfare Award winner, very well known in the jazz circuit. We have Abhay Nayampalli, who's a student of the late U. Srinivas, the mandolin king. We had Gerard Sullivan. He tours with Janet Jackson and some of the biggest artists in the world. Seb Reed from London, who's on the bass. And we also have Tom Schumann, who's a founding member of Spyro Gyra, which is the world's biggest contemporary jazz band. All these artists came together, and the whole dream was, how do we take the Naga sound global? A lot of people sometimes feel that when you look at organic tribal sounds, it has to be performed in a certain attire and headdresses and all, but it's not true, because at the end of the day, all music are notes. So when you strip down and layer the music sometimes, and you have conversations with other cultures, what comes out is very beautiful. I'm really grateful to the CM, sir, that you are launching it over here in Nagaland. I love Nagaland personally, I keep coming back. And I hope you all will like the album once it comes out. So thank you again for giving us this platform to launch the album. Thank you. Sanskrit word for trio. So the concept is Naga culture, Carnatic culture.
To 2 very big, important and significant countries, namely Japan and Russia. Before I get into the presentation, a little background of the event. The Chief Minister was invited to visit Japan by the government of Kochi, the prefecture of Kochi, and also to Russia by the Indian embassy in the Russian Federation. He visited 2 countries consecutively and carried out a number of exercises. I'll try to put together in this presentation as quickly as possible and brief as possible, because we'll give enough time to the Honorable Chief Minister to share his thoughts and to elaborate and explain his foreign tours. And I'm trying to make this presentation because we have a glitch in technology and I'm not connected my laptop or my remote is not connected, so I'm trying to get the controls from up there. So we'll try to get this through by connecting with them. As I said, the visit to Japan and Russia was simultaneous, and it started with a tour of Japan, the 3 cities of Kochi, Tokyo, and Osaka. Before the Chief Minister arrived in Japan, we had a preliminary team from the Department of Industries and Commerce and IDAN who arrived in Japan ahead of the Chief Minister's visit so that we would do the groundworks, the preliminary preparations. And even ahead of that, for weeks and months, the team at IDAN and the team at Industries and Commerce had been working throughout, collaborating, having video conference meetings, series of exercises for this to actually come true. So the advanced team visited Kochi, met with the governor of Kochi, which is equivalent to the chief minister of the state. In Japan, they call their states as prefectures. So we had this collaboration with the Kochi prefecture, and a number of exercises took place before the chief minister's arrival. Some of the highlights can be shown here. I will not elaborate everything, but our team that went there had meetings with the governor, had meetings with the government, visited some of the facilities where our young people would be working, visited the facilities where they're already working, including their workplaces, including their place of stay, because American Naga manu already tare kam kori thaka bishi ase, tahan actually kiniga kam kori ase, ki condition de ase, kiniga gorde buhe, aru tahan la feedback ki ase, idu on ground report mohan la officers kan tare jaine loise. MOU was signed between government of Nagaland and the Kochi prefecture. This is the first time in bilateral relationship between Japan and India that a state government has signed an MOU with another state government in Japan. So this itself is historic and significant. We will be happy to know that any MOU that is to be signed by the government with another agency outside of India needs the clearance of the Department of Commerce, Government of India, the Department of Finance, Government of India, and the Ministry of External Affairs. And it must also get the approval of the Indian Embassy of that country. That itself is a long process, and it is very bureaucratic in nature, but Chief Minister gave his personal initiative in it. He engaged the Foreign Minister, he engaged the Union Minister, and we could get this MOU cleared in record time. Some of the highlights as elaborated here are to have exchange programs, collaborations, are people going and working there, and technology exchange, agriculture, and a number of other verticals. Myself and the Honorable Advisor for Industries and Commerce were part of the advance delegation, Madame Hekani. So we also carried out our advance meetings, deliberations, so that we could iron out everything before the Chief Minister arrived. Then the Chief Minister arrived, and he was warmly welcomed by the Excellency, the Ambassador of Japan to India. A formal reception was held for him, dinner was held for him, and we had fantastic interactions. Now, these are some of the photographs of the meetings, the MOUs, and the deliberations we had. You will notice that the first time for Nagaland, every meeting of the Chief Minister, every appointment of the Chief Minister engagement was held in the Embassy of India. Not in a hotel room, not in in a conference room outside, but everything was held in the Embassy of India with the support of the Ambassador and with the support of the Government of India. Every meeting was vetted by the Government of India and approved by the Government of India for this to take place. This itself is very significant. In the past, we've had very high-level delegation visits to outside the country, but this type of mandate and this type of high-level meetings were for the first time, and we must congratulate the Chief Minister for having achieved this. One of the highlights you'll see in the right corner with Toshio Honda, the legendary animator. That person, the bearded guy who looks like a Kung Fu King Kong master, is actually a legend throughout the world. He's a legend in animation, in creativity, innovation, and in art. The founder of a character called Doraemon. A lot of our kids watch it, I myself watch it. So the creator of Doraemon, Toshiyuki Honda, a legend in Japan and around the world. When he goes to America, when he goes to China, he gets mobbed by people. And he came all the way to the Embassy of India to meet the Chief Minister, share his thoughts, and even did some artwork with the Chief Minister autographed his artwork and gave it to the Chief Minister. In fact, even Japanese officials and former members of parliament, our Indian embassy who were there, were surprised and shocked that this person was in the Indian embassy meeting the Chief Minister when so many people wanted to meet him and was so difficult to get even a photograph with him. So we exchanged ideas on how to build the animation industry in Nagaland, how we can collaborate. So some of the details, which Chief Minister will of course explain later. We had the signing of the MOU with Kochi Prefecture, with the Sasakawa Peace Foundation. The Sasakawa Peace Foundation is one of the most reputed NGOs in Japan, highly influential, political rooted, and in future, Chief Minister has discussed with them how we can collaborate, and I think Chief Minister is already discussing with them how we can have exchange programs at the leadership level with legislators, with MLAs of both sides, how we can have exchange programs this year and in the coming year. Next, we went to Osaka after Japan. Osaka, we went to World Expo. World Expo is 174 years old. 174 years ago, World Expo was launched. Japan's destiny changed after they hosted their first expo 70 years ago in Osaka. The World Expo is coming back to Japan after 70 years. After hosting World Expo 70 years ago in Osaka, Japan's economy, Japan's future changed, and they propelled themselves into becoming the second largest economy of the world until just 3 years back. For Nagaland, it was significant because in more than 60 years of statehood, Nagaland has not reached the World Expo. It was for the first time in the history of our state that Nagaland was projected at World Expo to an international community, to an international audiences. Chief Minister was warmly welcomed, as you can see. He gave the keynote address in a special session on Nagaland. I was privileged to give a presentation on Nagaland, its investment and tourism opportunities. And we took a tour of the World Expo, visited the Japan pavilions and various pavilions, and it was a huge honor for Nagaland as a whole. I think it's an achievement, not only for the Chief Minister, but for all citizens of Nagaland, that we were on the World Expo, we were recognized, and we were acknowledged. From then, we moved to Russia. Now, Russia, under the present geopolitical scenario, is having unique and special circumstances. Mogan Japan Japan Russia jabo nimide try korado ekta airline bi ekta airport bra bi mohan Japan de connect korbo na pare because of Ukraine and Russia war and so many international and western countries having sanctions against Japan. So no foreign airline, no western airline, even big airlines in Asia were not connected with Japan. With Russia. Russia de international sanctions khata nimide dusra citizens bi jao na pare, credit card bi ekta bi kam na kore, everything cash korai kore. So under those circumstances, from Japan, Chief Minister had to fly all the way back to Delhi, and because India doesn't have sanctions with Japan, India and Russia are connected. So Chief Minister and his delegation got all the way back to Delhi, and from Delhi, within 12 hours, flew to Moscow again. It was a huge intercontinental travel that we had in a space of 24 hours. In Russia, we did two cities, the capital, that is Moscow, and the cultural and the melting pot of Russia, that is St. Petersburg. Some of the highlights. Now, the background of this visit also needs to be understood by us. In this geopolitics of the world right now, Russia is an isolated country because of the war. But India, under Prime Minister Modi, is having a special and strategic relationship with Russia. In Russia, India did not have sanctions, and it was an open relationship. Because of the relationship that goes back 30, 40 years from the time of the non-aligned movement, and when Western countries had imposed sanctions on India, when India was undergoing food crisis and having enormous internal security problems, it was Russia who came to our rescue. And since then, we call the relationship between Russia and India as special and strategic. Aro aji tahan war korea de India wala tahan lo partner korea, tahan lo trade deal thaga nimide, Indians are very well appreciated in Russia wherever we went. Not only as Nagaland, but wherever we went, Russians appreciated the role that India is doing, the role that Prime Minister Modi is doing with the Russian counterparts. You are aware that India is buying oil, India is buying energy reserves from Russia, and we are having diplomatic relationship. In that context, we must also understand that there is a huge political geopolitics shift between the North and the Global South. The Global South is being powered by BRICS, where India and Russia are the two main countries. It is in this context that Prime Minister Modi wants to strengthen India-Russia relationship. That's why Bharat Utsav in Moscow, a collaboration between Government of India and the Moscow government. Tate amikhan ekta itu laga bhari bujibo lagado of all the chief ministers of all the states in India. The Government of India invites our chief minister to be the chief guest in the closing function. Union Minister bhi matibo pare, Foreign Affairs Minister bhi matibo pare, but Government of India tahan laga wisdom de aru tahan laga strategy de Nagaland laga chief minister ke invite kurigine closing function de taike chief guest koribo diado itu significant ase. Khali tai laga naam noy, Naga manu sob laga naam ase.
To had gone to these two countries, Japan and Russia, and had an experience, a global experience, a Nagaland global footprints, cultural diplomacy, and international engagement. All the activities that had happened in Japan and Russia had been shown in the slide, and Abu had explained in detail. I will only touch upon my personal experience into this venture, visiting the two most developed and powerful country by invitation as stated. Our visit to Japan and Russia both were by invitation. So government had spent our to and fro journey ticket and all the rest of 5-star hotel facilities, of course 5-star hotel, and food, dinner, lunch, breakfast, tour, vehicles, everything was paid by our host. We are not allowed to pay anything, and we are taken everywhere. And I am grateful to Government of India, External Ministry, and the Embassy for inviting us. A state, Nagaland, 6 states were invited, and in the northeast, Nagaland was the only one. You see how Nagaland got the attention of the nation and of the world is our uniqueness. Britishers, when they came to our land, they protected us. They did not indulge into the rural local bodies. the customary law, the tradition were preserved. Even outsiders coming to our land, we were given protection. When we came to the Indian Union under a political agreement, it is said that as desired by the Nagas, Bengal Regulation of 1873 shall be enforced in Nagaland. And that's how today interline regulation, our protection, everything under 371A of the Constitution of India. We are privileged. We are the only state who got land and resources. We are a special protected state. And for all these things, our leaders, former leaders, present leaders, we decided that we must protect, promote our culture, our tradition, our customary laws, our ethnic foods, our wares. And that's how Hornbill Festival started in a small way, bringing all the tribals in the state. Now, God's blessing, we found a permanent place, a site for Hornbill Festival, a festival of culmination of all the festivals of Nagaland state. But not only that, the northeastern states also participating. The state partners are there, country partners are there. That means we are growing bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's why we became visible. And that's why we were invited. In Japan, Abu had already made a mention of how Kochi Prefecture had invited us for signing a MOU for cooperation in human resources, placement and employment opportunities. And also the Peace Foundation, led by the Executive Director, Dr. Nobuko Kayashima. It is a very important organization. When we last visited Japan, they had hosted dinner for us also. And we had built up a good relationship with Japan. They are coming to Nagaland under JICA funding, doing all kind of conservations for forest and environment, climate change, and also livelihoods. They had already committed 400 bedded hospital in the Nagaland Institute of Medical Science and Research in Kohima. Their doctors and nurses will come and work along with our people. And then also teach their discipline, technology, language, so that later on, when they qualify, doctor and nurses who are willing to go to Japan and serve will be given 100% placement. And this Sasakawa Peace Foundation, focusing on future political and cultural exchanges. You remember a few years ago, last year, we developed Kohima Peace Memorial because in the Second World War, so many Japanese were killed here. The only thing they could do was come, visit, come, visit, come, visit. And in the 70s, they came with the map and dig out the mass graves, collect their bones, and been going, coming, collecting. And so at least today we build Kohima Peace Memorial. So any Japanese coming, they're coming and paying their respect in that site. On the inauguration, myself and the ambassador of Japan to India, Suzuki, our name are inscribed on the stone, and Kohima Peace Memorial, many of you might have seen, is written in English, but in Japanese language they had written. And that's how it is this was very important for Japanese, and we had been recognized for doing very good things to them. And so we will continue to have tie-up, to have more and better relationship in days to come. So Moscow, my experience, by invitation of Bharat Utsav, Festival of India in Moscow. It has been going for 9 days, and our state was performing the last part and the concluding, as mentioned, by Gujarat and Nagaland. Our cultural troops' performance, our exhibition of tourism, our products were also all empty, so they have to ration. One day, limitation materials so that it lasts till the last day. And our clothes, our wares, all sold out. Our products, our necklaces, ornaments, all sold out. And our last closing was, their performance was outstanding, excellent. And it is more beautiful to see your own cultural performance in Japan than in Nagaland. I really congratulate you. And in the closing, I am told the Times of India carried that Nagaland cultural troops stolen the show. Beautiful. And everything okay. Our songs, our dances, our language. But the last song they performed was a very famous, popular Russian song. So, when we asked the crowd that this is a popular song, you must be knowing, so please join us. Then they start singing. Everybody started singing and clapping. There was a huge commotion. We are so happy and very proud of our cultural troops who perform for us. All this happened from a small beginning of Hornbill. And to promote that, remember, we had a road show to all the tribal districts to celebrate their tribal festival and to taste their ethnic food, their song, their dances, their arts, their music, their handloom, handicrafts. So today, everybody is asking, many countries wanted to be partner, but we have duration. The other day I was having VC with Minister Donor, India. And he said, I will come for Hornbill Festival. I said, sir, we'll surely invite you. Then later on, when we came to again close to that topic, he said, I'll come on first. I said, sir, first is overcrowded. You may get lost. So we'll fix a date and invite you. I said, I'll come. We are finding a suitable date for you. So this Bharat Utsav, Festival of India in Moscow, they had really opened the eye of so many. And I think they were detained back to perform in other areas also. See, in demand. And I'm sure there will also be people visiting us, start to visit us. And I talk about how British came to India and ruled over India for over 200 years. And when British came to Naga Hills, Naga has no king, no leader, no governance. We have only tribal leaders, village leaders. And wisely or foolishly, we fought with British. We killed so many officers and political officers and their army officers. And because of that, fighting, using the neighboring kingdom which surrendered, their soldiers were used against Nagas. Many Naga warriors were killed. And to prove that, I want to tell you, I told you, in Oxford New University, Pitts River Museum, you all heard about it in the newspaper also. Naga Civil Society's group, they went to Oxford University, Pitts Museum. There is a human remains of the Nagas, of 42 items, I think. And the other objects, artifacts and other thing is 178. So, after I wrote a letter complaining of this century exhibiting human remains, only 2020 they have stopped exhibiting publicly the human remains of the Nagas. And this visit in June. We are trying to repatriate these items. So the process is going. And why they have taken human remains? Why they have taken precious artifacts or antiques? Because we fought with them and they want to show their power. So they are telling stories exhibiting human remains. So obviously Russia and British were always fighting. So I'm only speaking a true story to them that we also fought with British. But today, friendship is built up and we hope to retrieve all these human remains and objects. So he was very interested again. His face shined and became alert when I was telling stories. So it's very interesting. And after we met him, now by the way, going to Russia, I saw only daylight. I did not see light, dark night. Particularly in St. Petersburg, we were taken to one top deck restaurant and they said that the sun will set around 11:30 at night. So we sat in such a position that we can see the clock tower, that is the railway. And so every time I was clicking with my handset, mobile, zoom it and clicking the hours. So even people were getting up to the rooftop and saying that it was summer and longest day. So they have daylight, 20 hours light. And night is known as 4 hours only. But they said, is it bright night? White night. So they don't see darkness. So that means you have to adjust. You see your clock, it is time to eat, you go. It is time to sleep, you sleep. Otherwise, you will not see the night because they are in the hemisphere. We had a wonderful time. Then we are taken to one souvenir shop. There are many things which we can buy also. But there are so many precious that were frozen in the snow and digged out. How you call it? Mammoth. Those precious stones. Even a small decoration piece is costing lakhs. They have huge 11 tasks also. They have different items, so many things. But anyway, we bought some clothing and they have everything. So like that, our journey to Japan and Russia. Internalization and our Nagaland global footprints. It is true, cultural and unique Nagas. People have gone all over the world, they have seen everything, but we are yet to be seen by many. And our identity, our culture, our traditions. And even when Britishers came, they called savage wisdom. We sing folk songs, we have folklore, we are cultivating with irrigations, we are doing things systematically. So they call us as savage wisdom. Today youth are educated and also protecting and promoting our culture. People really appreciate us. Even in the Northeast, all the state, they call it Hornbill, others name it differently also. They also started festivals, but not like Nagaland state. So, this is the talent, inborn talents of Nagas, and particularly our youths, our boys and girls, and even our children. These singers, performers who come here, some are elderly, but some are still very young. But they come as if he's just doing things naturally. So this should continue, and we should grow bigger and bigger and internationalized our strength. And I hope and pray that Naga unites and protect our rich culture tradition, our handloom handicrafts, and of course, our made in Nagaland. People will come to know us. Thank you, a big thank you to all of you for taking time to come and listening to us. And we all should work towards promotion, development of Nagaland state, which also is developing India. We call our state as land of festivals. India is called in India, incredible India. So India is big, it's diverse, and in the Indian functions international platform, selecting a state, we should, from here we should grow bigger and more visible. Thank you for your patient hearing and thank you for coming. God bless.